Agora espero que você goste. Numberblocks Big V1. Vai. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 100,000. Million, quadrillion, one century. One million. Ué, por que você tá pensando que não vai ter infinito? Infinity. Infinity man is one as a million. Infinity man is what a million. Infinity man is 1 to 1. Infinity man is million. Billion. Infinity man is million. Infinity man is 1,000. Infinity man is 100. Infinity man is 10. Infinity man is 5. Infinity man is 2. Infinity man is 1. Infinity man is 0.5. Infinity man is 0.4. Infinity is 0.7. Infinity minus 0.6. Infinity minus 0.5. Infinity minus 0.4. Infinity minus 0.3. Infinity minus 0.2. Infinity minus 0.1. Infinity minus 0.0. Infinity. Infinity. Oh, absolute infinity. Infinity problem. Infinity everything.
Absolutely everything. The next is the capital.
1x,
2x,
3x,
4x,
5x, 6x,
7x, 8x, 9x,
1x power 1x, 1 try x, 1 power x, 1 queen x,
1 infinity x, 1x double.
absolute every number. Absolute every number squared. Capital B. Double capital B. Capital B squared. Capital B cubed. Absolute number.
Profinity. Profinity score. Profinity cube. Superfinity. Superfinity absolute number. Superfinity score. Megafinity. Overfinity. Megafinity.
Godfinity.
Blue Infinity.
Super God Infinity.
Хотя Blue Infinity. Absol Subscribe Infinity. Absol Куб Infinity Case Nati.
My God Infinity.
Absolute logit X. Absolute to God to. Negative with infinity. Key number. Key S key number. Absolute super God.
LA Infinity.
Capital Alway. Absolute Alway never. Alway God. Alway super God. Alway to God. Ultimate infinity. Absolute transparent.
Absolute ultimate LA Floppy Sucker. Absolute Sim Double Function. Infinity. Master Infinity.
Infinity plus 1. Infinity plus 10. Infinity plus 100. Infinity plus 1000. Infinity plus 1 million. Infinity plus infinity. Infinity plus absolute infinity. Infinity plus absolutely everything. Infinity plus NX is the original. Infinity plus 1x. Infinity plus 1x power 1x. Infinity plus absolute every number. Infinity plus capital there. Infinity plus absolute never. Infinity plus infinity. Infinity plus ultimate infinity. Infinity plus infinity. Infinity plus master infinity. Infinity. Infinity plus 1. Infinity plus 10. Infinity plus 100. Infinity plus 1000. Infinity plus infinity. Infinity plus absolute infinity. Infinity plus absolute never. Infinity plus infinity. Infinity plus ultimate infinity. Infinity plus infinite infinity. Double infinity. Triple infinity. Quadruple infinity. Infinity square. Infinity cube. Infinity plex. Infinity duplex. Forcefinity. Forcefinity plus 1. Forcefinity plus absolute infinity. Forcefinity plus absolute never. Forcefinity plus infinity. Forcefinity plus infinity. Forcefinity times 2. Forcefinity times 3. Forcefinity times 5. Forcefinity times 10. Forcefinity times 100. Forcefinity times 1000. Forcefinity square. Forcefinity cube. Forcefinity cube plex. Forcefinity cube duplex.
3-finity, 3-finity plus 1, 3-finity plus 10, 3-finity plus 100, 3-finity plus infinity, 3-finity plus absolute infinity, 3-finity plus absolute never, 3-finity plus godfinity, 3-finity plus infinite affinity, 3-finity plus forcefinity, 3-finity double, 3-finity square, 3-finity cube.
Absolute ultimate infinity. Absolute ultimate infinity plus 1. Absolute ultimate infinity plus 10. Absolute ultimate infinity plus 100. Absolute ultimate infinity plus infinity. Absolute ultimate infinity plus absolute infinity. Absolute ultimate infinity plus absolute never. Absolute ultimate infinity plus godfinity. Absolute ultimate infinity plus infinite affinity. Absolute ultimate infinity plus infinity. Absolute ultimate infinity plus absolute super duper. Absolute ultimate infinity double. Absolute ultimate infinity square. Absolute ultimate infinity cube. Absolute ultimate infinity double cubes. Absolute ultimate infinity super cubes.
Absolute crores. Absolute crores square. Absolute crores power. Absolute fire. Absolute crores cube. Absolute crores double cubes. Absolute crores super cubes. Absolute infinity. Absolute infinity square. Absolute infinity number. Absolute fire. Absolute infinity number. Absolute crores. Absolute infinity number. Absolute crores power. Absolute fire. Absolute infinity square. Absolute infinity cube. Absolute infinity double cubes.
extreme power, absolute power. Absolute extreme power, absolute force. Absolute extreme power, absolute force power, absolute power. Absolute extreme power, absolute infinity. Absolute extreme power, absolute infinity power, absolute power. Absolute extreme power, absolute infinity power, absolute force. Absolute extreme power, absolute infinity power, absolute force power, absolute power. Absolute extreme cube. Absolute extreme double cubes. Absolute extreme super cubes.
Quint power. Quint power, absolute power. Quint power, absolute roars. Quint power, absolute power. Quint power, absolute extreme. Super everything, power everything. Quint power cube. Quint power double cubes. Quint power super cubes. Sex power, absolute power. Sex power, absolute roars. Sex power, absolute infinity. Sex power, absolute extreme. Sex power, quint power. Super duper everything, power everything. Sex cube. Sex double cubes. Sex super cubes.
Sect power, absolute power. Sect power, absolute roars. Sect power, absolute infinity. Sect power, absolute extreme. Sect power, quint power. Sect power, sext power. Mega everything, power everything. Sect cube. Sect double cubes. Sect super cubes.
Alt power, absolute infinity. Alt power, absolute power. Alt power, absolute rules. Alt power, absolute infinity. Alt power, absolute extreme. Alt power, quint power. Alt power, sex power. Alt power, set power. Ultra everything, power everything. Alt cube. Alt double cubes. Alt super cubes.
Extreme affinity power, absolute power. Extreme affinity power, absolute cruise. Extreme affinity power, absolute infinity. Extreme affinity power, absolute extreme. Extreme affinity power, quint power. Absolute extreme affinity super duper. Extreme affinity power, sex power. Extreme affinity power, set power. Extreme affinity power, warp power. Giga everything, power everything. Extreme affinity cube. Extreme affinity double cubes. Extreme affinity super cubes.
Weedici power.
Trideci pyre. Quadreci pyre.
Quinteci power. Sexteci power.
Septeci power.
Octodeci pyre.
Novadeci power.
Absolute double impossible.
Absolute triple impossible.
Absolute quadruple impossible.
Absolute quintuple impossible. Absolute sextuple impossible.
Absolute sextuple impossible. Absolute octuple impossible. Absolute quadruple impossible.
Absolute Illuminati.
Gigafinity. Terrafinity.
Petafinity.
Exactly. Sense affinity.
Yes affinity.
Gravity.
Quad affinity.
Ten affinity.
What affinity?
Absolutely, pi is everything.
Absolutely pure is everything. Absolutely pure is everything.
Absolutely pure is ultra everything.
Infinity pi over. Omega pi over.
Absolute infinity pyre.
Absolute Zingan.